Letters for variables. Your learning target today is I can find the unknown in a multiplication problem when the unknown is represented as a variable. And you'll know you're successful when you can find the unknown by using the count by strategy to find what number the letter is representing. So the first thing that we're going to be really focusing on today is working with variables. And a variable is a letter that represents the unknown. So anytime if I see like a blank in a problem, like if I were to say 7 times blank equals 21, instead of having that blank there, I could put in a variable. And again, that's like any letter. So I could say 7 times A equals 21. And what that A is just really is the unknown. And of course, we would have to find out what A would equal. What would A equal? 7 times A equals 21. Well, this is the perfect time to test out and see what A. So some of us might already know this fact because of reflex math, or maybe you've been practicing with flashcards or something else with multiplication, right? You might already know the fact family 7, 21, and one more number would make sense to put in this spot where A is. But what if I don't know this fact? So what's a way that I can find the unknown with a variable? Or an unknown if it was a blank, because we know it's the same thing. This A just means the unknown, so don't let the A scare you. It just means I need to find out what A would be to fill in the blank and fill out and finish this problem. So I am going to show you that with this information that we have, we can use this 7 to help us get to 21. And by doing that, I could just count up or count by, right? I could count by what number? 7. So if I count by 7s, I of course would start with 7. And then what would come next? 7 plus 7. Oh, that's 14. And then what would come after that? 14 plus 7. Oh, that's 21. So that's where I stop. How many times did I count by 7s? 1, 2, 3. So what would A equal? 3. Because we know if we filled that in and replaced the A with 3, 7 times 3 is 21. So A equals 3 in this problem. Let's try another problem with a variable. And oh my goodness, there's going to be a lot of times this year and beyond where you will see a problem written like this. 32 equals C times 8. Please don't let that scare you. You know what that really means? It's just flipped around. C times 8 equals 32. These are the same thing, but sometimes you will see the answer first and then the problem. But do not let that scare you, because it is the same thing as saying C times 8 equals 32. And of course, what do we need to do? Well, we need to find out what C equals. I don't know what C would equal, but if I use that count by strategy, I can count by 8s to see when I get to 32 and how many times I counted by 8. That will be what C equals. So let's count by 8s. Of course, we start with 8. What would be after 8? 8 plus 8 is 16. Yep. And then what would be 16 plus 8? Well, I know 16 plus 10 is 26. And 26 minus 2 is 24. 24 plus 8 is 32. Ooh, that's when I stop. How many times did I count by 8s? 1, 2, 3, 4. So C equals 4. Because if I were to replace that C with our 4, 32 equals 4 times 8, we know that's the same exact thing as saying 4 times 8 equals 32. So C equals 4. Oh, there's another problem where our answer is first and not last like it normally is. But remember, is this really a big deal? No. This is the exact same thing as saying 4 times Z equals 16. But instead it's just saying 16 equals 4 times Z. But we know it's the same thing. Okay? So remember, these are the same. It does not matter if my answer is first or last, as long as I see that equal sign and I know that it produces that problem. Okay? So what do we need to find this time? Our unknown is Z, and I need to know what Z equals. Again, you might already know this fact family. Oh, 4, another number, and 16 make that fact family when I multiply and when I divide. But what if I don't already know the fact? We know we can use what strategy? The count by strategy. Yes, that's right. So let's count by what number? 4 to get to 16. Okay, so we have 4. What comes after 4 if I count by 4s? 8. What comes after 8? 12. 16. How many times did we count by 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what does Z equal? 4, because we know 16 equals 4 times 4. Or 4 times 4 equals 16. Remember, those are the exact same thing. All right, so now that we've practiced with some problems with variables, I want you to try these 2 problems on your own. So I have 5 times 9 equals t. Of course, I want you to find out what t equals. And then we have, on the other side, 72 equals 8 times b. You should know what that means if you were paying attention to the video. And of course, I want you to find what b would equal. Please do that now by pausing the video and trying this on your own, and then resuming the video when you're ready to check your work. All right, so I hope that you had a chance to find out what t and b equal in both of these problems. First, we have 5 times 9 equals t. So for this problem, you could have used any strategy really, because t is the product. And this time we just really need to know what the product is, right? So you could have used really any strategy that you know, not just the count by strategy. But in order for us to figure this out, I will be using a count by strategy just because I'm noticing a 5, and counting by 5s for me is really not that hard. So I'm going to count by 5s, and I'm going to stop at the 9th number, okay? So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Oh, how many do I have so far? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. So that means 45. T equals 45. That's what you should have gotten for T. Now, for B, on the other side, we have 72 equals 8 times B. B equals what? Well, let's use that count by strategy and count by the only number that I know so far in the problem, which is 8. Okay, count by 8, and we stop at 72. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. What would come after 48? 48 plus 8. Oh, that's 56. 56 plus 8. That gets us to 64. And then 64 plus 8 is 72. So how many times did we count by 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my, that was a lot of counting, wasn't it? So B equals 9. And if I filled that in, it would be 72 equals 8 times 9. So B is 9. So for these problems, you should have gotten T equals 45 and B equals 9. This is such an important strategy that we are going to keep using, and you are going to keep seeing variables the older you get. So we are going to keep practicing them now in 3rd grade so that you will know exactly what to do every time you see one. So remember, your learning target today is I can find the unknown in a multiplication problem when the unknown is represented as a variable. And you'll know you're successful when you can find the unknown by using the count by strategy to find out what number the letter is representing.